happy pink shade. Immaculate, I love him with all my heart. I just haven't been able to pat with any of my Chanel makeup PR boxes. In whatever way I can be of support.
That's what a normal Boston accent sounds like, by the way.
Market Basket. It's Market Basket. Kim Kardashian. It's Kim Kardashian. And I know this girl has a massive cult-like following.
She doesn't really like it when people acknowledge that she is making money off of it, though.
And then you have the people that are like, oh, she's doing it for money. Y'all are sick. Y'all are monetizing mental health.
But you are monetizing off your mental health. I don't know how it's fair for you to say that's sick, that people are saying that, when it's 100% true.
Do you guys hate Mikayla Nogueira? Good for everybody! In this video, we'll be learning about this controversial TikTok figure who, even though has a massive following, she also gained quite a few detractors. Now, I will be honest, this video has a lot of effort put into it, so please check out the creator, thank you Jabo. But there was some section where I was off-put by the criticisms made by him and some redditors. For example, Mikayla's accent has started to be called fake, even though for this video, I'm wary about that, among other criticisms.
Mikayla Nogueira is a TikToker known for scamming her audience, blatant false advertising,
And I'm not sure anyone's gonna ever be able to compete with this mascara.
faking her accent,
And I am standing in the Fisher Student Center.
lying about her use of
Oh
filters
god,
and
that's ridiculous, what? I've seen the same shit in news reporters, this New York guy faked a California accent. I don't care.
Photoshop, and more recently, making
People do get bullied for their accent.
content out of a recovering addict. Seems like a relatively trustworthy person to me. Before we talk about that, I just want to say big ups to all of you showing love to the new lighting setup. For this video, I've upgraded the audio in a similar manner for those who have noticed, so I hope you are a fan of that. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, because if you don't, I
It
will
is very
ascend
nice, to be fair.
from the gates of heaven
I think the vinyls are a bit too artsy-fartsy, but yeah, I don't mind it.
and drag you down to hell.
It's a nice
where you
set.
belong.
It's a nice set. It's fucking better than my shithole room.
For not subscribing to the channel. Anyway, this video was originally going to be about Mikayla Nogueira's exploitation of her husband's drug addiction for views and TikTok money, but as I started
Sorry, what? What a whiplash intro, excuse me.
researching into this woman, I found so much that I figured I might as well make a deep dive on some of the past controversies as well. Because for those unaware, this latest dud from her is not her only crime by any means. And to really understand the present and the future, I believe that it's important to look back on the past. So let's have a look at Mikayla Nogueira's overuse and lies about the filters and Photoshop that she uses regularly.
Oh boy. Now I think the first thing you pointed out is interesting, right? Because if he's selling makeup on TikTok, the TikTok shop, and he's using filters, I think that's fucked up, yeah. Because you're selling a standard that nobody could achieve without a filter.
I figured I could do a little OOTD.
Is she British? Bro, I'm sorry. She looks so goddamn British. I've seen this woman 10 times in my life on the street.
I absolutely love this dress from Revolve. It is denim and it is such a nice shade.
Oh, she might be faking the accent actually.
Denim. It has pockets.
So at first glance, I'm sure you're wondering as you've watched this if you don't know who this woman is, why are you showing? This is a completely normal OOTD on TikTok. There's nothing wrong with it. Why are you showing me this? Well, it's videos like this that have caused some of the most controversy amongst her community because it's very much speculated that in videos like this, as well as any other video on her TikTok, there is a heavy usage of filters that she is not being honest about to mislead her audience.
Ooh.
For example, if we look at these pictures taken a week before this TikTok at different events and then compare it to the TikTok itself, there is a
Oh
noticeable
shit,
difference.
oh
Now,
my god. 10% body fat gone. Oh my
at first
god,
glance,
yeah.
the difference isn't so noticeable in my opinion. This is what I was thinking when I first seen it. It's not such a noticeable difference that I have to accuse her of using filters and Photoshop and whatever, right? It could just be a bit of makeup, a bit of lighting, a bit of angles, right? It genuinely could be that. The more you look into this woman and her blatant use of filters, some of them are hilarious, by the way, you come to realize that in all likelihood, every video uses filters. I'll show you a bit more of an obvious one now, just so that we're on the same page. If we look at this video, for example, there's a very obvious filter that actually sort of failed and missed her
Oh my god.
arm a little bit, because this girl
Nothing wrong with that.
hasn't limited
If I was Jamaican, I would love that.
the filters that she uses to her face. She uses body filters as well, which have become a lot more popular recently. This here is an example of the type of filter that Mikayla could be using, although we don't know the exact one, but
Oh shit, actually, well, let me zoom in real quick. Oh my god. Oh, it does actually. Zoom in real quick, better. Let me just zoom in. Yeah, you can see the actual body, the fat of the chin, just disappear.
as you can see, they're pretty damn convincing nowadays. It's quite terrifying. And look, in and of itself, if this was the only crime that she did, and she was open about it, and there were no sort of misleading advertisement at any point, it'd be fine, right? You can use filters all you want, whether it be to the face or
Was she selling makeup? I mean, she clearly was, yeah. It'll show in a
the
second.
body. You can do what you want. The issue comes with her making the claim time and time again that the only thing that changes her appearance in these videos is lighting and angles. She has vehemently denied ever using filters at any opportunity, whether it be on her face or her body. Despite screenshots like this, just
Oh my god. She has a fucking Oppenheimer deathly ghoul face. Holy
very
shit.
obviously
I mean, it's a filter, but still though.
proving that to be wrong, because this is some baked bean filter. It is actually quite sad to see someone lie this much about the filters that they use, because it's just a blatant showing of their lack of confidence, which is why in my opinion it's important to take care of yourself, because if you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you look good. So change your bed sheets every 2 weeks or so, because your skin will thank you for it. And you know what?
I think it's an ad.
Every time you go out, spray a little bit of perfume on yourself, because people notice that type of thing, even if it is just subconscious. Now granted, I understand that
Okay, it's not. So it's an ad.
perfume
Or a
can get a little pricey,
sponsor.
especially in this day and age, but luckily, the sponsor of today's video
Oh fuck, I was so goddamn right. Give me a second, guys.
can help you out with the 80 code. End up doing a ton of Marc Jacobs and raspberry if possible. Just
Give me a I could tell, guys, I could tell it was gonna be an ad because of the. Oh, here you go.
Back to the video.
I take photos with angles that
I thought it was an ad because you see like a sudden shift. This woman is awful, but you might be as awful as her unless you buy this new product, this
feel
new
flattering to me
ad.
as a larger woman. And if that bothers you, it's not my problem. I don't want to take pictures like this, okay? I'm happy to take photos with my supporters in public, and I'm not gonna like be posing to look snatched in those pictures. I'm gonna look like my average self when I take fucking pictures for Instagram,
She looks like that new actress for The Last of Us.
TikTok, or whatever. I'm gonna pose in a way where I feel comfortable, where I feel beautiful. So it's just exhausting.
See, that would be totally fine and understandable if, you know, it was true. But the issue with lying about this sort of thing is that all it does is feed into the insane beauty standard that everyone's complaining about nowadays, for good reason, by the way. I mean, I don't mean to be pedantic here, but the person screen recording this video is getting a notification for a weight loss plan. Like, there's a lot of people who watch Mikayla's videos that really care about this sort of aspect of their life, and they're getting wrong information from her, or a misleading presentation.
That's actually depressing, yeah. I mean, I don't give a fuck with her, because, like, I'm pretty thin, but like, if you actually look up at somebody, like, okay, no, I have a good example for like the male, you know, a male figure, right, for all the boys. Like, people will watch like No Diesel and be like, oh my god, he's massive. Now, if he was like perpetuating like a lie that he was natural and like, he wasn't using any filters to look bigger, that'd be awful. And also, if you're like selling an online course on how to get bigger, like, you know, like actual online coaching sessions, that'd be fucked up. So I'm gonna say, like, I can understand where he's coming from, you know, for all the women that look up to her to look more beautiful, more thinner, whatever.
Presentation of what she actually looks like, which would be fine if she was open about the usage of filters. It's just the lying that I have an issue with personally. Especially because now that she's promoting beauty products, having filters can easily be seen as false advertisement. In my opinion, it's comparable to fitness or gym influencers lying about them being on steroids.
I just give the same fucking example.
Exactly the same. Comparable for sure. There are a bunch of pictures that just show how different she looks inside her TikToks and outside her TikToks.
God.
And just for full clarity, I will be using the Mikayla
She unfortunately does have like that caveman brow, the brow extension.
Nogueira Reddit for a lot of the things that we look at in this video, and I just want to get this out of the way first of all. The Reddit surrounding this woman is like no better than a bunch of other ones that surrounded one specific person in terms of like toxicity. If all it was showing information, having wee conversations about things that annoy them.
I mean, honestly, if they have like good archives of TikToks, that's fine. But yeah, I agree with them. Any subreddit made for like dunking on a woman or person, like just snarkers, yeah, that's dog shit.
About, you know, the
What do you care? Just post your info, your evidence on a random big one, like Foy Moi or whatever.
stuff that she does.
Do you
that
want to make a separate subreddit for that?
Can be deemed immoral, that'd be all well and good, but comments like the ones on these posts are just insane. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I don't know. For this one, for example, there's the only thing that looks the same as her ridiculously awful lips.
Nice.
I didn't say that. I'm reading a comment. I'm about to chastise that comment. These comments
What
like
was that? It was a grandma?
that just confuse me, bewilder me, and annoy me, because has it not occurred to you that maybe the reason she feels the need to use these filters is because of arseholes like this, body shaming?
Oh, fair. I mean, I get what he means, right? But like, if you're gonna go on TikTok, right, you're a grown-ass woman, odds are you should have thicker skin. Do not let that avoid you.
Calling her an ugly freak. When if you look at her in like pictures with fans or just pictures where she's out and about and there are no filters being used, she looks totally fine. She just looks like a normal woman. There's nothing wrong with the way she looks at all. And even if there was, there'd be no reason to do filters and lie about having to use them. If you want to take pictures at the most flattering angles possible.
I'm sorry, like, after being on the internet for so long, I could not care less for someone being mean about another person's look. Like, it's so common. I would blame the person more for like using filters and lying about it, and like I will blame them for like letting it get through them. More like, if you're a common internet etiquette, just ignore people who who insult you.
So we'll use all the filters in the fucking universe, and you're open about it to your millions of followers who you influence every day.
She has millions. Well, how many actually?
That's totally fine. And it is strange because at the bottom of all of this, it is a sad story of someone who feels insecure about themselves and feels they need to use these filters to hide how she actually looks.
Oh, you just told me like she was selling bullshit. No, God,
and that is sad. You have to have some empathy there. At the same time, you have millions of people who tune into you every day. You do have somewhat of a responsibility to be honest to them about this sort of thing, especially when other people are involved, which I'll get into later, but she photoshops pictures of herself when she is with other big celebrities and makes them look worse so that she can look better.
No. Is that actually true? I want to see that example. Hold on.
That's a whole nother can of worms, though. We'll get to it, don't worry. Whoopsie. One channel that criticizes Mikayla Nogueira in
I love outtakes.
a way that I actually appreciate is CC Suarez, who you might know if you're, a part of this discourse at all. She's been quite vigilant in terms of finding things that are like obvious usage of filters and Photoshop, but she does not make the fatal error of calling her ugly like some arseholes do.
Well, these were taken within like a month or two of each other. Or hey, the same night. This one, the same night. This is her footage versus the brand that she was working with.
She looks near identical. Like almost same woman, yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but like, it's just like an issue of lighting.
Night, or that was hosting the event that she went to.
Like, yeah, if you're worried about, how the lighting looks or whatever, just accept it. Like, there's not going to be like good lighting in a random, where are you? In a random like club, like Chicago or whatever.
Like what is going on here? And then here's some other ones from when she was recently in LA.
Oh my God. Don't tell me she made this woman like look fatter by proxy, or like she tried to actually Photoshop her to look more bigger than
I
her.
believe it was like last week or this past weekend.
That is immoral if that's the
And then
case.
she went to Vegas, and here's one that she posted.
Oh my god, mate, look how fucking tiny her head is. Is this made out, either she's made out of Play-Doh, maybe she's not using filters and she is just genuinely made out of Play-Doh, and depending on the way she sleeps, her head size changes, but everything's just different. Yeah, some of these usages of filters, it's almost like she wants to get caught and this is all just rage bait, which honestly wouldn't surprise me because this woman here is like an actual rage bait queen.
Like, yes, can you make yourself look different with
The eyebrows are shit.
shadows and
I can't say much, but you know, those eyebrows are fucking massive.
highlighting and how you're doing your makeup? Absolutely. But again, that does not apply here because this person and that person, not the same person. One thing I do think is interesting is that someone posted like, oh, here's the difference between like the photo she posted and then the photo her friend posted. And Mikayla was like the same in both photos, it looked like. But then when you go over to, you know, the other one or whatever, then like you can see a bunch of edits, but you can't see any edits on her. So I think what maybe, all speculation, what she does is that she will have whoever take the photo like with
Oh my god. Was your toe blasted in an explosion? Oh.
her phone, and then she'll edit it. Like she'll edit herself and then send the picture out to like whoever. And it's like, okay, here you go. Here's the picture. Which like, girl, that's too much time.
Here's more just blatant filtering. I mean, if you look at her shins in that photo.
Now, I don't really mind this part to be to be fair. Like if it's just like her editing pictures, you know, that she posts on Instagram, that's fine. That's fine, you know, it's a bit misleading. You know, if you're actually no, I guess he makes a point that people look up to her like a fitness person as a makeup queen when she's selling a standard that's actually impossible without the use of filters. But yeah, on average, you know, I think the use of filters for an average woman, whatever, on Instagram, I don't really mind it because who gives a shit? But I get for her, you know, she's on a different standard because of her following and the money she makes from it.
First one where the filter's been applied, you can see that they're just so different. Maybe she's the master of one-legged squats, but the more likely scenario is that she's just faked it again. Here's yet another one, which honestly, this is like the best example of what...
Bro, these are like way too many examples. I remember Nerd City like did the same shit where like he had like Fort Squad. Where like, he would look up like different people on Instagram, be like, oh my god, they're using a filter. Like, you know, just like really microanalyzing every picture they posted.
What I meant in terms of like, she looks totally fucking fine without the filter. Like in that picture she's taken with the fan on the right there, she looks fucking like normal woman. Like there's nothing wrong with it at all. But the fact that she presents herself as the one on the left and that's how she seems in all of her TikTok videos is just a clear example of why it's useless to compare your bodies to the people that you see online. Because you just never know what's going on. And even if you know for a fact that they're not using filters, they're not using Photoshop, and they do just genuinely look fucking Greek godlike, it's still not worth comparing yourself to them because most of those individuals have a full-time job that involves looking like a Greek god. You might not be able to work out as much as you want because you have a 9 to 5. Their 9 to 5 is working out. Here's a fucking brilliant video actually by a creator called Sarah Putter that I want to show you real quickly.
Glance, you might look at me and think, wow, I wish I looked like her, but I don't actually look like this. This is what I actually look like. Please don't compare yourself to what you see online. You never know what's real and what's not. And video editing exists nowadays. You can edit your body in videos to look like this and move around, or even
That's scary, actually. Holy shit.
if there isn't anybody.
Guys, you know, guys, I'm sorry, but like, I'm also very self-conscious. I'm gonna put a filter on my face next on OBS for the videos.
People can pose and position their clothing, and I could look like this.
Here's another one where it looks as though Mikayla lives in fucking Topsy-Turvy. You have Topsy-Turvy over there in America. Topsy-Turvy is that place that like...
No, I'm getting like way too many examples. Like, yeah, I get it, you know, she uses filters, like a shit ton of them.
Girls would go for their birthday over here. I don't even know if they still exist anymore, but either way, it looks like she's in one of them like mirror joints. Everything in her room is like bent, like she's a fucking black hole and everything is angled towards her. But when you fix the angles a little bit, straight in the door frame, straight in the photo frames, you can see what she actually looks like here. But look, even with all this, even with the lies about the filters and her doing this to herself without, you know, being upfront about it to her audience, and all the potential harms that can come with people comparing themselves to her, not knowing this information, if we put all that aside, there is still a way to justify it and feel really sorry for her, which I feel like is a reasonable thing.
Oh, come on, dude. I mean, you can justify it if it's like a normal person who just does this for fun, whatever. But like, I'm guessing, like, he preempted the intro being like, oh, she sells makeup? Wait, was that the intro? Yeah, like, he said, you know, she sells shit for, like, on TikTok shop, whatever. I think that's real issue though.
Do, because this all comes from a place of not feeling good enough, and that is something to feel empathy towards. The issue is, however, when other people are being harmed as collateral because of this insecurity. It doesn't make the insecurity any less sad, but it does make you more of a prick for trying to fix it this way. If we look at this picture, for example, that she took with Selena Gomez, at first glance, like a lot of her pictures, it looks totally fine. But then when you take the filter off, because yes, there is a filter on this, all of a sudden Mikayla looks a little bit bigger, as usual, but Selena...
The filter? Wait, what?
You know, looks a lot smaller.
Wait, I'm guessing he put like this picture for like a filter detector, whatever, and like he removed it. Is that what happened?
Which again,
or does she like post the pictures separately, like, you know, the normal and then the edited? That's not the case. That's so moronic. Why would she do that?
this would be one thing if it was like a fan with 400 followers who just wanted to show off to their friends that they met Selena Gomez.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Mikayla Nogueira, who has millions of followers on her Instagram and has a lot of people, a lot of crossover with Selena that are going to see this photo, with the knowledge that Selena Gomez in particular is someone who has been bullied relentlessly for their fluctuating weight because of their lupus. Doing something like this and making them look bigger so that you yourself can look smaller to appease your sense of self-worth is genuinely a huge dick move. Like, this is straight up harmful as fuck. Like, I'm sure Selena would not have taken this picture with you if she knew what you were going to do to her. I don't know why I keep calling her Selena like she's my mate we go down pub with. We're not on first name name fucking basis. She even edits like her tiny babies to look bigger and fatter to make her look better as well.
What you? Oh my god! Saying he sends her the face. Is that true? Actually, she puts a fucking filter on the babies. Wait, so is the one on the left edited? The one's not. No way.
On the left, you can see the baby with the filter, and on the right, the one without the filter. This one on the left here is a special feature.
Wait. No, hold on. I gotta play that back again. She puts filters on babies.
I don't know why I keep calling her Selena like she's my mate we go down pub with. We're not on first name fucking basis. She even edits like her tiny babies to look bigger and fatter to make her look better as well. See, on the left, you can see the baby with the filter, and on the right, the one without the filter. This one on the left here is a special feature from this child with the longest fucking legs ever. So I want to get...
Oh my god. Nah, I'm sorry. I have no sympathy for this woman. Oh, you sure feel bad for her because, you know, people like call her ugly on Reddit. I don't care. She's crazy enough to put filters on babies to make her look better by proxy. That's psychotic. What? Also, do the parents of the baby know about that? Like, do they check the photo and be like, that's not my fucking kid? Bro, that's psychotic. I'm sorry. No, I don't feel bad for her though. I don't care, you know, what trauma, what guilt you had, you know, back in high school, or, you know, being bullied for being fat. You're crazy, you know, for feeling like you have to make babies look uglier and fatter and stinkier to make yourself look better. You're crazy.
Yeah, Mikayla Nogueira has used a filter and been dishonest about it, using her actual babies as collateral, or she's given birth to Tyson fucking Fury. That's not a joke from my audience. So in anime terms, she's given birth to whatever these fucking things are. I'm sure you all know you freak.
People know who Tyson Fury are.
I want you to type in 90s yaoi hands.
What does that? What the fucking language is? I guess it's Japanese. I tried to watch One Piece, but I couldn't do it because their hands were too big and it really bothered me.
I love One Piece. I love One Piece. Son. What are you on about?
You should watch
I watched like 10 Akira. Everyone tells me to watch Akira. 90s, yeah. What the fuck is this? What is this? What is this? Mate, is that meant to be sexy?
No,
whoa! What the fuck? Why do they look so fuck? Is this normal? Alright, this is getting like ridiculous now. What do you want for lunch? And it's just a big fucking hand. Where are his eyes? What is, mate, this is why I can't get into anime. I'm not about this life.
Not all of it's like that.
Anyway, Mikayla sent quite an annoyed message to all of her fans because of this talk about her filters. You'll love to spread misinformation.
Oh,
They are
God,
both
I'm
26, not
sorry.
31. Why does it matter so much?
No, this is ridiculous. Wait, so she'll have the goal to use filters, right? But the second she gets called out, it pisses her off and she makes a comment about it. You're pathetic. I'm sorry. That's so moronic. And then you have the goal to call them monkeys and dumbasses and idiots, you know, for saying they have a filter, but then you sell like makeup to them. You're moronic.
As I wear, I fit into a 26 because I'm 4'11 and 130 pounds. I'm done talking about this. The conversation around my body weight is ridiculous. Now, usually with any other
Why do you care? Like, why do you care, right? Like, if you wanna have like if you wanna go through like the work of putting pictures online of yourself, just accept that people will call you fat, or whatever. Accept
So
it.
I would agree. Why are you fucking weirdos talking so much about somebody else's body weight that has no effect on you at all?
I think that's literally. I've seen people like call other ethnic people very awful things. I don't care if a woman's being called fat.
These are all being
Like, that's so like, have you been on the internet? Like, that's like commonplace, you know, like the most common insult is calling someone fat and ugly, whatever.
very strange. But here,
It's more like on the creator, you know, for getting thicker skin to you not be affected by that.
it's like the one exception to that rule, because she's making it a talking point by being so deceptive about it all. If she was just honest about her use of filters, or ideally didn't use them at all, then I would agree with this, because people have no right to speculate about your body weight. That shit's fucking weird and invasive. So anyway, that about does it for like the proof that she uses filters.
Yeah,
and
that's very fucked up. By the way, I weigh 80 kilograms. Just, you know, put it on the wiki.
Photoshop and all that. As we carry on with the video, she hasn't changed this trend or habit of hers, so I'm sure you'll notice that she's still using it. But I just wanted to get some of the most egregious ones out the way first, especially her usage of them in photos involving other people as well, because in my opinion, those are by far the worst ones. Next is the vocal filter that she uses, but it's like an eye. She fakes her voice.
Okay, that's pathetic. That's actually pathetic, right? Because like, like being fat, you know, so common, nobody cares. But like, having like a nerdy voice, that's it's not funny, but like knowing you have a nerdy voice and then trying to like, you know, make yourself like, look more Chad, that's hilarious.
I don't know where I was going with that flowery fucking metaphor. She fakes her voice. So like first, we'll just play a regular video to get you all up to speed with the normal Mikayla, well, the normal quote-unquote Mikayla Nogueira that she presents herself as.
Flabby pink shade Immaculate. I love him with all my heart. I just haven't been able to pat with any of my Chanel makeup PR boxes. In whatever way I can be of support.
Or the really famous one that I'm
Support.
sure
It's like a fake New York accent. Support.
you'll have heard but don't know who was behind.
Kim
Get a coffee.
Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, Kim Kardashian.
Totally normal boss. When you go to New York, it's just a cacophony of fucking. That's what all New Yorkers sound like.
Not what you're genuinely trying to.
No, fuck off. I'm not trying. I don't want to upset the New York audience. I've got actually quite a lot of audience in New York. Thank you, New Yorkers, for watching this video. And for your sake, I'm not going to attempt the Boston accent. But yeah, this sort of voice, her quirky wee voice, is like that is the thing. The number one factor, in my opinion, that has propelled her to TikTok star. If she spoke like just a sort of standard American accent that everyone's heard, I don't think she would be half as popular as she is now. Right? People are drawn in by her fucking.
Wait, so is he saying like is he saying like she fakes like a New York accent to be more funny? Cause I don't, yeah, that's fine actually, yeah. I mean, if you're on TikTok, right, like every single second is like valuable. Like you have to make sure like the audience is like entertained or humored within those first seconds. So if you put like a funny voice, yeah, I don't mind. Or a funny accent.
Weird accent. Surprise, surprise, it's all an act.
Hi, it's Mikayla here, and I am standing in...
Oh, come on, really? Is that really good? I mean, he saw the video, like, with this clip, right? I thought it was gonna be much worse. But yeah, you know, people on TikTok, like, put on, you know, funny voices. I don't mind. Because I find them funny.
The Fisher Student Center, one of the best buildings on campus. I actually work here at the Information Center, so I'm sure you'll be...
Also, like, she's clearly, like, being recorded, like, for an interview, I imagine. Like, how do you even, like, this is her actual voice? Like, for all you know, like, she could could have, like, the ugliest New York accent in real life.
Around, but
she's, like, masking it now for the interview.
One of my favorite buildings.
It's so fucking different, it's actually unbelievable. Does she do that Boston accent at, like, meet and greets or if you met her on the street or in a shop, would she talk like this, like the real way, or would she talk like Boston? Or maybe she's conditioned herself to speak like a freak for so long now that she genuinely cannot stop herself from talking that way, so, like, that might just be her actual accent now.
I don't care. I think the filter was a stronger point to criticize her for. But having like a fake New York accent, like a fake funny voice, that's funny. I don't care that much, yeah.
Or maybe she hit her head. You know that person who got into a car accident and all of a sudden they had a Chinese accent? That might have happened with Mikayla. It would explain a lot. She fakes...
That'd be an issue, right? Because, you know, that's like a different ethnicity, a different country. But odds are, if I had to guess, she's American.
The fucking appearance. She fakes her voice. What else does she fake?
Well, I just say, I'm sorry, but like for someone like in the UK or in Europe, the idea of being pissed off by faking an accent in a country, just like faking an accent from a different state and being offended by that's hilarious. Like a French person with a German fake accent, that's offensive because they're not French. But an American faking an American accent, who cares?
Yeah, a lot. Pretty much everything on if she told you something, you would be better off, safer, to assume that it was a lie than it was the truth. This woman could tell me that the earth isn't flat, and all of a sudden my preconceptions of anything related to science will go in the bin. If she told me that life was beautiful and worth living, I'd probably kill myself the next day because I don't trust her.
You can come here to hang out with your friends, study, grab a bite to eat. There are lots of offices in this building, such as the PwC, Center for Diversity and Inclusion, and there's so much you can do in this building. I highly recommend spending your time here when you become a student at Bryant, and I really look forward to seeing you all.
That's so mental. Like, she just sounds like so nice and normal and cordial there. I personally would prefer...
Yeah, but nobody in TikTok wants like a nice, you know, calm person. They want like, you know, a weird sounding person, a weird sounding creator. That's what they want.
I think that will be a lot.
And I don't blame her at all.
Easier to watch if she just spoke like this the whole time. But we gotta remember,
like, it's so easy to be like, you know, oh, just, you know, sound normal. But in the second you compare your your analytics from your normal voice, your normal character to your high energy, you know, persona, you can see the difference. Yeah, like why not, you know, make more entertaining if you're gonna get more views and have your viewers stick around for longer.
But man, she is the fucking ultimate rage bait. To be fair, I am open to the possibility that maybe she is sort of masking her real accent and this is to sound a little bit more professional. I remember I sounded super different when I was growing up and my parents forced me to like speak a little bit more posh because they knew it would be like better for job opportunities in the future, because unfortunately London is like extremely classist. But I think we can pretty definitively say that the current accent that she does in her TikToks is absolutely more fake than this one ever could potentially be. No,
you call it fake, I call it funny. I don't really care.
No one fucking talks like that. And when you scroll on her TikTok, every now and then she lets the real voice sort of slip a little bit.
Eyes a blank, up to her creative, whatever. Why do I get nervous about this kind of shit?
The whatever in particular there, it just sounds so much more...
Wait, is that meant to be like a test between fake and normal? It sounds the same, actually.
Normal. It's like, you know, when you're watching cartoons and there's like a body swap episode or like a mind control episode where someone enters someone else's mind or whatever, and it's like, oh, now I have complete control of your body, but the MC is always just so mentally strong and powerful that they can sort of break out of the illusion, so to speak. And the villain's like, what? How are you doing this? How are you? It's like in every fucking show. Mikayla Nogueira has been taken over by the spirit of Joe Pesci, and every now and then normal American accent comes out. Here's what a normal Boston accent sounds like, by the way, just for reference.
I've seen her most recent video.
This is what it normally sounds like, just like the more fake shit.
We have to have a chat, okay? Her accent, like, nobody has that accent. It seems like anything she says is so forced. Back at best.
I'm sorry, you can call it forced, whatever, you want it fake, but like when you say forced, like I think he's doing a fine job at it.
It's Market Basket. Kim Kardashian. It's Kim Kardashian. And I know this girl has a massive, like, cult-like following. The accent, we need to tone it down. Just, like, have a regular voice. But it's fine.
Obviously, my immediate family immigrated to London, but everyone else in my family pretty much immigrated over to New York, the Boston area. So they have, like, these really weird...
That would be different, right? Because, you know, that's across the fucking Atlantic from the UK to New York. That's way... Wait, does he live in New York?
Arabic Boston hybrid accent is pretty fucking sweet, like, if you heard it. But, like, I'm actually around the Boston accent relatively sort of, what's the word? Often? Fuck, why was it so difficult for me to think of that? Because obviously their kids are just...
Yeah, no, he's saying, like, you know, he grew up around New York after... Yeah, that's different. It's a different fucking country. If from, like, I mean, like, if she grew up in like, California, Michigan, whatever, still in the same country.
Pure Boston. Here's a voice note that she sent into a fan group chat.
Like, an American offending an American. I don't care.
The accent is just gone, so I guess she can't be asked to do it all of the time.
So,
3,000 people were able to enter, which is like way less than normal because of the crashing. Because obviously we have about 35,000 new people in here because y'all keep spreading the word on how to enter, which I don't blame you.
Is this a group chat? What's it called? Massholes. Okay. And makeup lovers. Oh, nah, bro. I'm sorry. How many members? 183k members for like a random shitty Telegram group chat. Now, bro, if you got that success from doing a shitty Boston accent, I'd do the same.
She still kind of does sound a little bit like Trump now, but nowhere near
How big is she actually? I've never heard of her, but I now want to know how massive is she on TikTok?
the extent that she usually does.
Hi, do you have a face full of acne and you just can't seem to figure out how to cover it up? Watch this. I've been able to trick people into thinking I have no acne at all with these 3 products.
This is the thing, man. Like the
Don't most women hide their acne?
extent to which she faked
I'm the one woman on TikTok who can hide their acne.
her voice is just another brick in the wall of distrustworthy things about Mikayla Nogueira. Like, if this woman puts anything out, any product, any sort of endorsement of a company, it just shouldn't be trusted because she is one of the fakest fucking people on the internet. Everything about her is artificial. That's subtle foreshadowing, by the way, because anyone who's familiar with this woman knows that she does put a lot of products out later, and to put it lightly, it does not go well. Speaking of which, here is the first example of false advertising in the legal. Like, this is just a straight up crime what she does here.
Long and lengthened. My lashes look.
This literally just changed my life. This looks like false. This is how? What?
This is insane. What has happened right here has changed. She sounds like Peter Griffin if he ate 5 lemons. Sorry, back to the video.
It's this L'Oreal telescopic lift. Look at the wand.
Sorry, I keep pausing. She really does sound like fucking Peter Griffin, doesn't she? It just sounds like a bad impression.
Okay, so basically I'm taking the curved side.
Oh shit, oh my, I'm so slow. It does actually, yeah.
Tip, and I'm starting to coat the lashes. And then once you've done that, you flip the brush to the side and you use the hook comb to basically separate. This is one coat. Okay, I'm gonna add a second. Look at the length. Do you see that? Anyone's gonna ever be able to compete with this mascara?
So obviously that.
Now, okay. Now, I was gonna imagine her products being mascaras or whatever. If it's actual physical plastic tools, I don't mind that because it's not really being affected by the filter. Unless maybe she puts a contrast filter to make the paint of coat look much darker, sorry, and that's how it looks more effective.
The video there is a brand deal with L'Oreal, as you can see by the description, where in accordance with the law, she does disclose that it is in fact a brand deal, which is also probably why she hasn't deleted this video despite the insane amount of backlash that she got. And to put it...
Yeah, backlash for what? I'm sorry, I think some people, maybe thank each other as well, I think some people are overreacting way too much. All I've seen so far is that, okay, that filter shit, with how far she extends it to it, using on babies, that's fucked up. The fake accent, I really, unfortunately, could not care that much.
The expose of the crimes that she committed here. Now, I don't mean crimes as in fucking war. She hasn't killed anyone or anything, but it is false advertising is a crime.
Was that false advertising? How?
Case like this, where this video has 63 million views. So if she was to fake anything here, that is 63 million potential customers who have been fooled by false advertising, which is a big...
Though? You've said how her character might be fake, her voice might be fake, her actual body fat percentage being fake, but what about the actual tool, the product?
Especially when your entire brand...
It seems to do the job, right? You dip it in the paint, you put on your eyelashes, there you go, job done.
And is beauty-centered and being an influencer and this type of thing. So obviously the whole point of the mascara is to make it look as though your lashes are just so nice and luscious and beautiful. It almost looks as though you have fake lashes, but you don't, right? That's the whole point. Wouldn't it be really fucking bad if she just wore fake lashes and said that the L'Oreal...
Oh shit, did I speak too far? Too soon, sorry?
Was the reason that they look like that? So if you look here, there's just very obvious clusters and false lashes that are pretty fucking undeniable. There's no way. It's just so obvious. Almost once again...
Oh, fuck me, I spoke way too soon.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if she wanted to be caught doing this so that she could stir controversy up and be talked about more. But you can't do that shit when you're sponsoring an actual brand in a real brand deal. It's just not on the table. If this wasn't a legit brand deal, yeah, it would still be very dodgy behavior, but it wouldn't be illegal. Wait, are you not wearing falsies at the end? No, oh my god, L'Oreal would never allow that in a patented post. But you're approving my point. He's laughing. She finds it hilarious that people would think she would ever stoop so low. Me personally, I've never worn fake lashes, so you can tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems pretty fucking clear cut from that picture there. I mean, come on, look at that. This was her official response to that drama.
No, it does,
Again, this was a huge deal at the time.
For someone like me that's never wore eyelashes, I can even tell the difference.
63 million views should probably tell you that, but this was fucking massive at the time. You've probably all heard of it, but if you haven't, then welcome to the club. I'm glad we could experience this together, my friend.
Alright, this row you can choose a liquid eyeliner and a mascara.
I'm sorry. How can you? That's so goddamn funny. Yeah, mascara, eyeliner. Her voice is so good, I'm sorry.
Ah, wise guy, eh? Oh, Lord help me.
I just hate how scripted it's just so obvious that before they recorded, she was just pick that one out. It's gonna be fucking hilarious, little funny epic ruffle winner. She sounds like...
Is it not an ad? Sorry, is that not a sponsor? Do you not script the ads?
Them old-fashioned.
Wait, are you telling me that part in the beginning was totally improv? What?
Like 1920s fucking mobsters. It's just so fake. Like everything about this woman is insanely fake, artificial. And because the thing is, most TikTokers are fake. If a TikTok video is faked or artificial or just not real in any way, shape, or form, or an account even is predicated upon false promises or just things that aren't reliable, it's not a shock to me. But the sheer amount of, if you told me this whole account was fucking AI, I think I'd honestly believe you. It's as though there's like a social experiment, like just teetering on the edge of so fake that they have to be taken down for some legal reason. I would sooner trust Richard Nixon during Watergate than Mikayla Nogueira at any point in time. Here's another like eyelash mascara review where he just switches mascaras in the middle of the review.
Flex.
Wait, that's it? Or he brought up that example, for feeling scripted, but that was it. That first ad, seemed bad, because yeah, you clearly, potentially, allegedly put on like actual real eyelashes at the end. But the second one is an example, because it just sounds, forced, scripted. Okay, whatever.
Wand. Supposed to give a nice flat effect.
Who the fuck slowed that? That wasn't me. It just slowed down randomly.
Okay, that before and after, it's pretty freaking good.
To be fair, I think the original has been deleted, which isn't a good look, but I can't verify it by checking the original. It might have just been a video where she was comparing two, like, eyelash mascara things. Sorry, you can tell I'm a fucking straight bloke, can't you? Eyelash mascara thing. You guys must be fucking cringing right now. My bad, by the way. If it's any consolation, I think that period pain is bad. And if you're on your period right now,
We've both had the same fucking joke.
I hope that this video is sort of soothing you. I'm willing to bet a lot of people watch these videos to try and distract them from their period pain. Like the video if you're watching to distract yourself from the period pain.
Lash is totally fake, so I just lied straight to your face, and you probably believed it.
No, she's just admitting that she has the ability to fake eyelashes really easily. She's so proud of the fact that she's like a deceptive wee wee, but she's also explaining it in a way of like you don't already know. It's like, we know that you are willing to lie about anything and everything to get what you want out of your career. Even, by the way, if that involves hurting small businesses for no fucking reason whatsoever. Here's a video.
Okay, finally, some actual good shit. So like all that previous stuff, which is so boring. Okay, that filter shit, unforgivable. But her having a fake Boston accent, who gives a shit? Her faking an ad and putting, like fake eyelashes at the end, that's fucked up. But like her sounding like a fake Boston person, I really could not care less. I'm sorry. Now I want to see this part, her fucking over small businesses. Finally.
I bought that shit immediately. Hey, don't quote me on this. Apparently she uses Vaseline when she does those long swatches to make it do that. I'm excited to try this. Here's the palette. Very pretty colors. The famous shade right here. If I, swatch the famous shade right here, just regular, wow, that's beautiful. But it won't go like the way it does with hers because it doesn't have the Vaseline.
You heard in my business, and this is what I keep on have to be doing, so people can see that you are the liar and not me.
Bro, this is like some fucking Darth Vader level speech to introduce this video where you're calling Mikayla. I should do my videos like this. Astrovino, you are the new.
Wait, so is the case that like the mascara, the makeup doesn't like wipe that long? Do you feel like she showed right there on video, how long it lasted when she tried it? Maybe she didn't put enough on her finger? Was that what happened?
And I'm here to prove to you that new is a no-no. People might be wondering, how do it smell? Well, honey, I'm so sorry. Only Santos knows. But apparently, it smelled pretty well. You've ruined the take by talking over it. I'm leaving that in, because honestly, that was a piece of history right there. I can't read. Fuck, everything keeps ruining the take. My phone just went off. It was a
Do you not put your phone on silent?
fucking look fantastic Gmail thing.
I didn't use Vaseline.
Okay, I guess she lied. No, hold on. This is way more difficult to say. Like maybe she didn't put enough on her finger. That's what happened. I don't think like she intentionally wanted to destroy his business, unless you can show actual espionage from her rival's product, and she wanted to fuck her over, and she was paid to do it.
It was that easy to slash. You're wrong for that. You know your name.
I mean, she was so deceptive about this. This woman. Her name's Yolanda Salmon's company.
I'm sorry. I'm starting to fucking hate these takes. You intentionally started with like a bad one.
And it's almost as though she
it was by accident or whatever.
Had shares in a different makeup company.
No, he included like the ones where like his girlfriend spoke over him. There's no way that was accidental.
And was trying to destroy the other competitors so that she could make more money. Thought that'd be awful if she was doing that. Yeah, I mean, you guessed right. This was back when she had like a huge collaboration thing going on with a glam light company or a makeup brand called Glam Light, which a lot of people perceive to be.
Okay, so that was the case. Okay, now I take that back. That's fucked up. If you can show proof of that right now in the video, then yeah, it was intentional. Holy
like,
shit.
chill makeup company. I mean, once again, it's just a straight up scummy, dishonest, scammy thing to do. Like, you can't be doing that shit. I'm sure if you searched hard enough and got Saul Goodman on the case, there are a couple laws being broken here as well. So big up Yolanda Salmon for standing up for herself and having a fucking cool ass surname, Salmon. Jesus Christ, that's epic. The next drama in the whole Mikayla Nogueira saga was her wedding, which a lot of people thought was just a brand deal, basically. Which, yeah, pretty much has been confirmed to have been just like a big brand deal. So even her wedding, like the most sanctimonious day of any young couple's life, was just a big brand deal. Everything this woman does.
I'm sorry, do you know how expensive weddings are? Oh my god, I'm gonna have to get a sponsor for my wedding. Yeah, fine, you know, like that pays like 80% of the wedding by itself, you know, and you have like a huge burden lifted off you.
For money and TikTok, like you couldn't even have your fucking wedding. But look, at the end of the day, this originally was going to be a long section, but in the middle of like compiling these TikToks, I sort of realized like who actually gives a fuck about this drama. A lot of people were acting as though it was like this huge sort of news of the week type thing.
Hold on. I want to see like what else is in the video. That's about wedding. Mikayla's messy skincare brand. That's funny. Monetizing. Ooh, problematic. Monetizing mental health. Yeesh. What else? Mistreatment of a recovering. Okay.
Lashgate is what people.
This is getting actually good now. I want to see this. Mistreatment of a recovering addict.
Eyelash drama and the filters and such, but you know, those involve other people and they harm other people. Her wanting to make her wedding a brand deal ultimately does not affect anybody, and if her and her husband were okay with it, ultimately that's all that matters. That being said, it is very, very funny how she is so insistent that it was not a branded wedding when it very obviously was a branded wedding. Like, look at all these influencers who made get readies with me just to go to a wedding. You got James Charles, Dylan Mulvaney, a hairstylist influencer called Matt, Madison Mann, Patrick Starr, Amira, another influencer, Sydney. I mean, if you ever want to kill that.
What the? Okay, yeah, good point. All these people recording the same shitty video. Guys, let's get ready for Mikayla's wedding. The same one over and over.
Weddings, then fucking invite James Charles.
Not only did I find my wedding lip combo, I created it. I'm so excited to finally be able to share with you my marriage material lip duo in partnership with Elf Cosmetics. Here's the story.
Yeah, I'm not going to show you this whole video, but she's in her wedding dress promoting, like, it's just so obviously a branded wedding. Do you reckon she was doing her vows, like, with the fucking till death do us part? I want to see a fucking video of that now, just to know if she did the accent. I mean, if you wanted further proof that it was in fact a branded wedding, you got this lassie, Samantha, who Mikayla had only met like once in person, for some reason decided to make her the maid of honor at the wedding. I don't know anybody who has made their fucking Discord friend basically the maid of honor at their wedding. Imagine being like an actual childhood, long-time best friend of somebody, only for them to invite their Discord kitten as their best man or the maid of honor.
Your focus should be on making their day special. And if I was too consumed with my own looks, that would have, you know, that's not being a good maid of honor. Aw, thanks, Shannon.
Oh my god, Shen donated to this girl. He's fucking dangerous. He'll kill your whole family. Have you not watched Kung Fu Panda 2? You know what? I was about to say that I wouldn't put it past people who are into that big hand yaoi bullshit to invite their Discord kitten as the best man. I was about to like hardcore make fun of those people, but then I sort of just clocked I made a fucking Kung Fu Panda 2 reference to the most unnecessary reference ever. So I really have no room to talk. Okay, we'll move on from this drama if you really want to call it that. I think it's petty as fuck. Like, who actually cares if the wedding was branded? As long as they were happy, it's all good, right? None of our business. So this is where Mikayla releases her own skincare brand known as POV Beauty. Dermatologist test. I mean, it's a skincare.
Oh, what a shit name. POV Beauty.
I would fucking.
She named after like a shitty fucking meme on TikTok.
I hope so.
I know POV is an actual term, but like nobody used it before, you know, it got big on TikTok.
Dog food and then marketing it by going, by the way, we tested this food on actual dogs. Yeah, I would hope that you tested it on dogs and not fucking cats or humans. Vegan and cruelty free. So it's free of cruelty and it's free of vegans. So they've not taken vegans, mashed them up into like dust and used them in the. I know what she's talking about. It's just I'm being a dick. Sorry, we'll move on. Fermented rice, fermented ginseng, fermented adelaide, fermented potato. I'm not a dumb. Maybe these are perfectly normal legitimate ingredients. I wouldn't know, but it's fermented potato. Drench it, drip it, whip it, glaze it, amp it, bop it. There's no med on these on the website. You know, if I was one of them like really annoying TikTokers, I'd be like, this. You know the ones I'm talking about. Just that fucking impression. You know what I'm talking about. Although I will say, there's a legitimate gap in the market there. You know, just put one man on there. Open the gates to men using your skincare, in my opinion. I might tell you how to market your brands, Mikayla, but me personally, I would have put at least one bloke in there. If you're looking, I'm here. Although when I look at the reviews of this skincare, I'm not sure.
Okay, now I want to see that. I mean, that part was, you know, boring a bit, but now I want to see the actual review. Like, you know, it burnt the hole from my skin, from my fucking cheek.
It too much.
Oh, see this part? Oh, I see. Fuck, was an ad? Bro, she has like fucking mom. She has the mom triceps. Holy shit.
Much better.
You can't
they
be
just forget
honest.
to color correct this bit.
Are you critiquing the editing, really?
I'm
just
sorry,
saying, like,
lads, I've just given this. I want to see the actual like critiques of a skincare brand.
Every day, I inspired people to
And so
discover
with all
their
due respect, you don't. Thank you,
own point of view
Jabo.
when it came to their beauty journey. And
Man, I didn't come to this video for like the jokes.
Fuck off. Like, all right, just a bit. Let's just fucking get it straight. Let's get the facts straight here. This is not her company. It's a company that probably reached out to her and went, "Can you just be the face of our fucking bog standard skincare company?"
Okay, fine, he's an actual
to sort of
good
lead.
shit.
It's like Prime, right? It's like KSI and Logan Paul are not in the factory manufacturing Prime like fucking. They're just the faces of it. I don't even know if
The fuck? No, I'm pretty sure they. What do you want? I'm pretty sure they do own Prime, as a matter of fact. I think Jake Paul might have like some more ownership than KSI, but even there, you know, they're both creators of it.
Mikayla's like the CEO of this company.
At least like they pay like some other company to be their the base for their own product.
Well, it doesn't really matter, right? What matters is the quality. We should not judge point of view by the color of its packaging, but by the quality of its character. Now, it said made in Korea on the website, which I guess makes sense with all the ginseng. But apparently, she's actually quite deceptive with like the links that this skincare brand actually has to Korea, because we all know that Korean skincare, there's a lot of hype surrounding it. So it makes sense that she'd want to cash into that market, but not by lying. Well, to be fair, it's nothing new.
Made in Korea with a potent blend of Korean-inspired ingredients.
So Mikayla just launched her new skincare brand called Point of View. She's really highlighting the fact that it's made in Korea with a potent blend of Korean-inspired ingredients, worked alongside Korean chemists, packaged by Korean hands. And so now people are calling it Korean skincare. And as someone who is a K-beauty content creator, it got on my radar, and I'm like, no, this is not considered Korean skincare. And you might say, Mikayla never called it Korean skincare. But when you have Mikayla, the brand founder, liking comments like this is so exciting.
The issue is like Korean skincare is much more different, like culture-wise.
Not only a skincare brand, but a Korean skincare brand, Elite, and even responding with fire emojis. All of the comments thinking that it's Korean skincare, liking, commenting. It conveys this message that, yes, this is a Korean skincare line.
Yeah, like what does Korean-inspired ingredients even like fucking mean? I'm gonna make a skin...
What do you mean? Like, if it's gathered and sourced from Korea, odds are it's Korean ingredients.
Skincare brand with Egyptian-inspired ingredients, and it's just hummus. You put hummus on your face, and hopefully that does something. Korean-inspired, you can't just put ginseng like as a prefix to a different word and go, hey, it's Korean now. What if we take this potato and make it Korean and then use it in skincare?
This is like a very minor, boring point, actually.
It's like how Batman just puts bat before everything, but you can't do the same with Korean.
So we have reached the under 1% line because, guys.
Wait, is that really it? No, he was showing like an actual Korean woman and be upset by this, and like, he didn't like let her finish her point.
Everyone, come on, I think everyone knows this, right? Peptides are in a formula at such a stupidly low concentration, they will never make it up to the top of an ingredient list. So we have reached the part of being just under the 1% line, and now we can start to rearrange things. I have a bias to the owner, but I have a bias when it comes to formulas. I would never purchase this because this is just bold-faced, like I'm going to manipulate you and tell you that the peptides are in at a high level, but it's very common knowledge that peptides are not in at a high level. Like all peptides are going to be at the bottom of the ingredient list. And yes, some people might move it up a little bit here or there, but never to the top. This is just, I would look at this and I would think this is a scam. I'm so like, this is where my bias comes in because I have a bias when it comes to formulas.
I would not put something with this many chemicals on my face, or maybe I do with the current skincare.
I'm sorry, like just, what do you mean? It's just makeup, dude. Like most makeup have like, you know, just like the biggest list of bullshit in them.
Normal for skincare brands. There's a potato extract. I guess it's comforting that it's less than 1%. Anyway, by this point, we all know that Mikayla has a thing for fucking over smaller businesses, and apparently, this is just another one that you can have on the businesses that she's hurt. There's a high likelihood that this...
Like, this segment's been pretty boring. Like, number one, she's lying by... Wait, does he even know that 100%? Like, does he have proof of the owner of the company not being her?
POV brand is just completely...
Or, like, does he even have proof, like, you know, of, like, her saying, yes, I am the owner of the company, and then lying?
Plagiarized. So recently, a small brand in Quebec, Canada came out and spoke out against the release of POV, basically vocalizing their grievances and how similar it looked to their product. Obviously, it's in French, so I can't read it until it's translated, but I can make a pretty good guess at what the title says without translating it, because I know a bit of French. I'm guessing it says betrayal, sadness, anger, humiliation, and heartbreak. And I honestly don't mean to be that impressive, guys. It just comes out naturally. J'adore be flip. This is how I feel right now about the launch of Mikayla's brand. I feel like someone has just shaved off both... Oh, the sword.
Okay, I'm gonna be... From what I've seen so far, it seems like, you know, it seems like a big expectation, but in the smallest point ever. This better be actually big, to be honest.
Shaved would not be a big... Like, that would not be a big deal. I feel like someone has shaved my legs. I feel like someone has just sawed off both my legs. That my greatest pride has been stolen. In short... Well, you would be pretty sure if someone sawed your legs off, to be fair. I feel like someone has sawed off both my legs and my Honestly, you can put the French and the Nigerians, like, top of the totem pole when it comes to coming up with, like, incredible imagery for vocalizing how upset they are at a certain situation. No one tops those two cultures, man, I'm telling you. There are some that come close, but, like, no one tops that. I don't have the words to describe how helpless I am. It's been almost a year since the brand was created, and to see that someone took your name, your concept, when you have invested all your savings, your passion...
The name as well, what they call, like, POV skincare?
Well, I don't know how to react or what to do right now. It saddens me to an unimaginable extent. How can we do this to a small, queer Quebec business that doesn't even have the means to defend anything? This is their website here, POV by Sam. Affordable, inclusive, vegan.
Okay, yeah. I mean, do I call it shitty? That's an interesting point, yeah. I'm not sure, I guess. Unless they have, like, the name Pat. I mean, wait, hold on. No. How do you feel bad? Just sue them if that's the case.
Queer CEO. So these guys, unlike Mikayla's brand, do include vegans in their recipe. So it's not a complete copy. Now, as someone who's not too clued up on how business works, there is a chance that, in my silly, naive mind, POV as like the name of a beauty brand is not the most outlandish or creative name on the planet, in my opinion. It is possible they both just...
I'm sorry, what? Yes, sorry, once again, like this person made like a very sad Instagram story being like heartbroken, as they said, you know, having the fucking legs cut off, and they're upset because they sold their name, like just so similar. Like that's pretty. I mean, I feel bad for them, you know, if like that, if it actually affected their business. But like, that's such like commonplace, you know, in the market industry. Where like, oh, you know, we have a very similar name. That's it. I mean, once again, if you really were upset by it, maybe talk to a lawyer, maybe potentially sue them if you want.
Came up with the
Like,
same.
if you're smaller, you know, you have less money than them, you probably lose, unfortunately. But if you feel like you have a strong case enough, you know, to be heartbroken by it, odds are you can go right ahead and sue them if you want.
I will say though, they definitely have Googled like POV brands before and knew that this one existed, but just didn't care.
No, I'm sorry. No, are we taking the moral angle against this? Oh, you know, well, are we going after Mikayla or the actual company, you know, who owns this? Because like he said before, he doesn't believe like she actually runs it or owns it in any shape or form. I'm sorry, even then, you know, regardless if it's Mikayla or the company, I don't think it's immoral, you know, to like, look up the name. Or it's not immoral to like, you know, have like a similar name from them. They just enjoyed it so much that they wanted, you know, make it similar, but, you know, make it different enough to not be exactly POV. Like POV brand or POV care, whatever it's called.
Fair enough to change the name of the brand that they wanted to make. I'm sure if they lived in Quebec, they wouldn't have been able to do it because of copyright laws in Quebec. There's already one named it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's well, like if you live in Quebec, right? I mean, I guess anybody internationally could buy it, but odds are you get more like customers from there. So they'll never even like they'll never look up like the other one, you know, by Mikayla and buy hers by accident.
But in the US and the UK, I think it's all just fair game.
Also, as well, logos. Do you have like the same logos as well? I don't get it.
Otherwise, they wouldn't have been able to do it. Also, to be fair, I'm going to give Mikayla some credit and say that I highly doubt she knew that POV was like a small brand in Quebec. It was probably just the actual people responsible for the initial creation of the company. Mikayla is just the face of it and the one.
I'm not sure about this part either. You know that she doesn't own it. Like he hasn't shown any proof that she claimed it was her or that somebody else owned it. So I'm not gonna get behind his point entirely.
About how great it is every now and then, probably had no idea. I'll tell you though, one thing POV by Sam has over Mikayla's product is that they actually receive the fucking products that they order. With Mikayla, however, the same cannot be said for a lot of people. So here's a load of people in the comments basically expressing their displeasement with.
Okay, now this might be bad actually.
They haven't received.
Oh, it's called POV Beauty. Okay.
Even the actual products that they've ordered. With this one in particular, they literally say that they got their order, but they didn't receive one of the items that they ordered. And POV Beauty responded, "We love to hear it." I guess that's their MO. They love it when their customers don't receive what they ordered. Apparently, there was a post later on stating that this initial release was just for pre-orders, which was not, communicated with the customers at the initial time. Which, I mean, needless to say, is fucking outrageous. Like, they should know what they're putting their money into. Bro, there's so many people who just haven't received their fucking orders. This is insane.
It's now been a week and a half.
To be fair, like that's very common, which is like shit on TikTok or like stuff on Instagram.
No sign of my order shipping. A couple days ago, I saw that a mutual follower of mine was having the same experience. She reached out and she got this email. Well, I reached out as well and I got the exact same email. Sounds like what happened was they did not cut off ordering as quickly as they should have. And that meant that some orders went through when they were actually already sold out. So if you have also
just get a refund then. I'm sorry. Like this sounds like very minor, common issues in like the e-commerce world.
placed a POV
Like
order,
now it's being like, used against them.
you're like, huh, it's taken.
I mean, yeah, they deserve to get fucked over, but I feel like it doesn't like really resonate with me that much because like, I know full well in most of the cases you just get a refund.
A long time. I bet this is what happened. I am personally planning to respond to this email and give a little bit of feedback because while I totally understand this is a brand new brand, there's going to be hiccups. What I don't think is okay is that the customers are the ones who are having to send messages and emails to figure out that this is going on.
I mean, that sums it up pretty well, to be fair. Sorry for not giving this creator credit, but for some reason, the Reddit likes to cut off their usernames and their heads, apparently. But at the end of the day, I almost feel as though it's on you slightly for actually trusting Mikayla and buying into her products. You can't even trust how she sounds.
No. Now he's saying like, that the support side of the brand is completely on her. So no, I don't agree with that at all. Like how do you know like she has control over that? Or she intentionally, worsened it or profit.
How she looks, what she promotes, what she demotes, nothing about her is trustworthy. If you bought from her, then you are the fool to an extent. Like I would say 10% you are the fool. It's like buying a book from me titled The Third Trimester and What to Expect. If you buy a book with that title written by Dan Kijabo and you don't get all the information that you wanted and it's a bit badly written and has some wrong information, I'm sorry lass, but that is on you. When people finally did receive their orders, they were shocked to find that their skin had more breakouts after using the product.
See, now we go, okay. And I would see like, a potential theory that they mistested the skincare shit and it really fucks you over.
In my skincare routine is POV Beauty. And like I'm even wearing this right now. And I have breakouts around my lips. Even if you go watch like my other videos using this same filter over the last week to 2 weeks, my skin does not look like this. My skin is so inflamed, so irritated.
Now, to be
yeah, but I seem okay. Is he gonna say it?
Completely transparent. I have heard from veritable sources that apparently, when you start using skincare, breakouts are actually pretty fucking normal because your skin isn't used.
And also, furthermore, sometimes like the products you use don't work the best on your skin. like skincare like can be like so like massively broad. It really takes you know like a very small fine-tuned like skincare routine to actually work the best on you, you know, to prevent breakouts. So I guess if you have proof, you know, that her products are not tested that well, then that'd be an actual issue. But if it's like just one person being like, oh, it didn't work that well with me, it's not really that big of an issue.
To the skincare, be it like all the products.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna skip this part. Oh, what I was almost done.
Chemicals being used on your bastard face. The whole point is that you're meant to do it consistently.
I want you to like skip all this segment because like, you know, I haven't really seen like that many bad points against her. Like number one, oh, she may now own her own company. Like who gives a fuck? And it was not really backed that much. Number two, what was it? Some orders took a while. Whatever. Number three, I guess they have a Korean ingredients and that as well. Fucking whatever.
And within a few weeks or something like that, it'll get used to it, and your skin will be better than ever. I can say from first-hand experience that is how it worked with me. So I don't know if this is I don't know if this is necessarily the fault of POV itself or if I'm misinformed. But it's certainly not a good look. And fucking who am I? Like, I'm sure this is a girl who's used skincare for a majority of her life. Like she knows what she's talking about. But I've heard other things. The common opinion though is that it just really didn't make much of a difference at all.
POV, my point of view order for Mikayla. Finally, after a month. I don't think I'm gonna post my review video because I don't know, I make it look any different. My skin doesn't look any better. I mean, it looks the same. I don't know, maybe I just did it wrong, but I followed the directions. I did everything in order. I did my makeup like I always do, and I don't know. I don't know. For me, it wasn't different than, you know, using my normal moisturizer, my normal elf primer, and I'm not like, this isn't like a I hate video because I'm not speaking negatively at all, just for me personally. It's not anything special, really.
Yeah, this is probably where I stand.
And if you have like, you know, do you have like some possible dyeability? It's really hard to like review a skincare like product because how do you know A, it was bad, or B, it just doesn't work that well with you?
Someone
like, so he's only showing like 2 women you review it. That's really it.
I would assume that it's just nothing.
If it was like a mass review bomb where people are being like, oh, it didn't work at all, and like, you know, it happened to everyone, that would be a stronger case. But just 2 people having bad reviews, not enough, you know, not enough to convince me that it does not work in general.
That special. It's just a completely bog standard ordinary brand, which is why they probably needed the help of a very recognizable face to, I guess, promote it. It's a shame that the product is so shit they can only get Mikayla Nogueira to promote it because she's not exactly the most reputable brand ambassador. Now, there's a lot more that we can say about this POV beauty launch, but for now, I actually want to move on to the more current drama of Mikayla using her husband, who has just come out of rehab for views and content, and is actually doing a lot of things.
Okay, I'm sorry. That segment about the skincare, that was so boring. Holy shit.
People who have just come out of rehab or people who are recovering addicts, the way that she is acting around this bloke is diabolical, but we'll get to that in a second. For now, there's some important context about how she talks about her own mental health.
I've just been rotting in bed and eating my feelings.
Oh my god. You fat pig. This might be fake, but like, look at this shit. McDonald's, a fucking huge ass Coke, crumble cookie.
Because your girl
is that pizza box as well?
Right now. It's not funny, but I don't really know what else to say.
So yeah, I mean, for a lot of last year, there was a huge chunk of her content that was pretty dedicated to her just sort of talking about how shit of a time she was having. And I'm not going to sit here and like cast doubt upon her potentially having a bit of a shit time. I'm sure she was feeling a bit like shit. The whole internet fucking despises her. That can't feel good no matter whether or not you deserve it. I mean, at the very least, we know that she's horrendously insecure, and that is not a good thing. Like, that is something to feel sympathy for. So I guess part of her solution, or the way that she copes, is by documenting her feelings and making money off of it. She doesn't really like the
in no situation would that ever be good, because people just mock you over it. Like, people who will support you will, of course, you know, support you through it, but like, it'll give more ammunition to your haters, your snarkers.
She doesn't really like it when people acknowledge that she is making money off of it, though.
And then you have the people that are like, oh, she's doing it for money. Y'all are sick. Y'all monetizing mental health? Ew, y'all are so freaking sick for that.
But you are monetizing off your mental health. I don't know how it's fair for you to say that's sick, that people are saying that, when it's 100% true that you are making money.
Okay, oh my god, I have to insult myself real quick. I hate this talking point so much, because you never actually, like, it's always like, you know, oh, she does it for money, but they never go after the actual bad parts of her TikToks. Like, I would only really care, right? You know, if she fucked it up severely, like, it's such a lazy attempt of a TikTok, and then she made money from it, that'd be bad. But if it's like a short, you know, quick update on mental health, and, you know, it's entertaining, whatever, to viewers, whatever, I don't really mind. You know, if it's for money.
Off of the videos.
If you was making, like, you know, like 20 every single day about the same shit, that might be an issue, and it's so clear for money as well.
Where you're being vulnerable about your mental health.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's definitely an air. I'm not saying that the whole situation is fake, but there is an air of artificiality, if that's a word, surrounding this video, because, like, if you're sitting down to do a serious video about some really dark feelings that you're having, why do you keep the fucking shite Boston Peter Griffin lemon accent up? If it's a more serious video where you want to be more honest with the people who watch you, fucking tone it down at least a little bit, or just be normal for once. But look, if you don't want to, and everything's just honest, and maybe that is your fucking real, whatever, right? At the base of it all, you are making money off of, I guess, vocalizing your trauma or your mental health. Like, you are monetizing it. It's just a fact. There's nothing necessarily necessarily wrong with making money off a video where you describe how shit of a time you're having at the minute. In fact, part of me even respects you being vulnerable about that, because as influencers, there's a lot of pressure to appear happy and epic all the time. So there is something admired about the concept of what she's doing. I just don't think that she's doing it the right way. Some bloke called Rich Lux, who's apparently like one of Mikayla's biggest, most popular haters, if you want to call him that, made a response to Mikayla, because for whatever reason, of everyone criticizing her, this bloke here is the one that she decided to respond to.
Because people tear shit apart, and I just fucking
Oh, is he a gay guy?
Rich Lux, you're a piece of shit. Anyways.
Wait, do I know this guy?
First of all, we caught Mikayla in another
I think I know this guy actually. Like, his eye makeup is like so unique, I might know him from previous videos.
lie. She's drinking milk. And she said, I don't like drink milk. You guys, you do not talk about Mikayla. You do not.
What is this fucking expose? Like, who... I don't even know what to say to that. It's just so ridiculous. As though anybody who's on the fence about Mikayla has seen that and went, oh, okay, well that trumps it. You know what? I was on her side, but now that I know that she drinks milk, even though she said she didn't like it, this is unforgivable. I can't believe she would fucking do such a thing. I genuinely don't know what to say. I have no words. I have no words. This guy's acting as though he's found fucking proof of God when it's just Mikayla drinking a pint of milk.
And I told you that she was gonna post a video right around the holidays, crying, get the sympathy vote. Right, I called it out, guys. I called it. First of all, I'm really quite shocked that Mikayla posted this video saying that this is the worst year of her life. Really? You went on a lot of vacations and paid sponsorship brand trips, unboxed a lot of luxury goods. I see you got a brand new BMW. Whatever happened, I feel so good about myself. I lost a lot of weight. This is the best year. I'm really feeling more self-confident. And then we get this.
I don't like this guy. I'm clicking off this video. He's a fucking weapon. He's like, oh, they're saying you've had a bad year, but
you call him a weapon?
Did so many things that involve a lot of money. It's like, you just don't know. You don't know this. You're not in her fucking shoes. You don't know this woman. You don't know what her life's like. You don't know what the relationship with her family's like. You don't know anything about her. All you know is that she has a lot of money. In fact, we now know, because of the next section on this video, which we'll move on to right now, that her fucking husband was in rehab for a lot of that year. Her husband went to rehab in December, which means for that year, he was struggling with a drug addiction, like a legit huge drug addiction. No wonder she wasn't having the best time. But you wouldn't know that, because as fake as she is, and like all this TikTok brain, and like she monetized her own mental health for money or whatever, even she wasn't sick enough to fucking, like, document her husband's insane drug addiction for the world to see. Like, she kept that secret like a normal person. You know, she struggled in silence. It's just so fucking narrow-minded to say, no, you went on a vacation and you have a lot of money, so you must be really, really happy. I fucking genuinely despise that mentality. Anyways, this is Mikayla and her...
Wait, so hold on. If that video was so bad and why pull it up? I'm guessing she responded to him, but like, if you think it's really bad and like he's a worm that deserves no attention, why bring him up?
Husband, Cody. Some little tidbits that are important for context that I'll come back later. When they first got engaged, Cody sold his truck, which was like his most prized possession. He loved it to bits, to buy Mikayla a wedding ring.
Cody was so certain that he wanted to marry me.
Well, so how broke out? Oh, I guess like he wouldn't use his own money for it. Oh, fair. Respect that, man.
That he sold the only thing he had, that truck, to buy an engagement ring.
As time went on, and Mikayla's...
Man, just buy a cheap-ass car.
started losing a lot of weight without filters or anything. Like, genuinely, she's lost a lot of weight now, so good for her. Hopefully she's doing it healthily. But as she lost that weight, as happens with a lot of people, the ring stopped fitting her, because obviously her fingers lost fat as well.
Because I lost 60 pounds, this ring is now humongous on me, and I either need to get it resized or a new ring, perhaps.
That'll be important later, because she ends up just completely selling the ring instead of resizing it. Like, she just gets rid of it and buys a new one.
Wait, really? Oh my god. Wait, I'm guessing like this like tips off her husband to be depressed. If that's true, oh my, you couldn't get it resized? You could really goblin.
Issue with, because Cody, like, it has got sentimental value to Cody, and it's very unlikely that Cody knew she was actually doing that. But anyway, this next video is a very popular one, and it is a relatively vulnerable and fine video.
Oh no, this is gonna be heartbreaking actually. Like, am I gonna see him like actually be teary-eyed from this?
Mikayla
no.
explaining the situation of Cody and his journey and how he's soon leaving rehab.
My husband Cody is in rehab, and I'm ready to talk about it. Cody's story is not...
Wait, so what was the point of this? Oh, I'm sorry. My one main issue with this video, like, you know, this style of videos, is like, it sets up like a, you know, events after events after events, and you expect like, you know, like a big gratification, but it doesn't really go in that direction. Like, did the wedding ring fiasco lead to him getting to rehab or getting on drugs for rehab, whatever?
Not mine to share, but he has given me his blood.
Like, it's not mine to share. Fuck off. Like, could you not give the harrowing story of your husband's drug addiction the grace of a normal voice?
Okay, I'm sorry, but like, there's like a really huge imbalance of evidence. He has like multiple videos of like her putting on a voice, whatever, or putting on a voice, and then he's trying to like negate all of that, you know, as proof of a fake accent because of one video where she sounded, you know, like a different accent. That's it. Maybe in that video she had a fake accent, and all the other ones is where it's actually real. No?
Once in your fucking life, please.
By saying I am incredibly proud of Cody. It takes an immense amount of courage to give up your will and enter treatment, and I could not be more proud. As many of you have noticed, for the last several months, Cody really has not been around, and now you know why. A lot of you have put two and two together. Many of my longtime loyal followers, Cody being an addict is not news. He has shared his story openly on TikTok. Cody has struggled with addiction from a very young age, and I knew Cody was an addict when I met him. When I met him, he was living in sober living, and he had just gotten out of rehab. Understand, sobriety, recovery, is not linear. Addiction is a disease, and it's very complex, and unless you yourself or someone very close to you has struggled with addiction, it's hard to understand.
Now look, this video is pretty, like, apart from the fucking accent, and, you know, she's...
I'm sorry, at this point, I could not Kenny. I could not Kenny less about the accent.
So, using her beauty brand in this video, and she's showing her beauty brand to the camera. It's like a cylindrical object, but she's making sure that her brand is front and center every time she uses it, which is shady in a video like this, but whatever, right? I have a problem with the existence of this video to begin with, as much as she said that Cody has given her permission to share this story, which is fine.
Right,
that is true.
I'll get the name of the video, this segment real quick. Mistreatment of recovering alcohol.
Like, that does make it better than not having his permission. In my opinion, it's not something that I would have done anyway. Even, like, I wouldn't have even asked for permission, because I wouldn't have even thought in my wildest dreams about, you know, publicizing them leaving rehab, because all this does, in my opinion, realistically, is put so much, like, unnecessary pressure on him, because now he knows.
True, good point, actually. One good point, yeah. Like, if you're gonna put the news, like, you know, guys, he's getting out of rehab, then people will just, you know, like, fill up his fucking comments on his own TikTok, you know, of like, hey man, like, you know, you got rehab, and maybe put like too much pressure, like he said.
That 31 million people have seen this video. That's 31 million people who know that he's had an insane drug addiction, and now if he relapses, that is 31 million people who know that he's relapsed. That must be stressful as fuck. And look, I don't know the ins and outs of the conversation they have. I don't know if she put pressure on him to say yes so that she could make this video. I don't know if it was completely amicable and that maybe he just didn't think of it. Maybe they did think of all the outlets.
Oh God, I'm sorry. Another not good talking point. That she, how do you know? Maybe like it was him that came to her to like, you know, motivate him. To like, it was like him coming to her to like, make the news on her own TikTok. Like, do you have proof, like, you know, like that she made that news public without his consent or against his will?
And they were both completely okay with it. I really don't know, but all I can say for sure is that I personally would not have done this. But then on the other hand, I also understand, because a lot of people have been saying shit like,
yeah, but if your fans are worried about your husband, who's before in the past, you know, like very public on your TikToks, you know, always like showing up, and now they don't see him at all, and like, you know, there was like no divorce, then yeah, I understand, you know, why they'd be worried and why you might want to update your fans.
This is not your story to share. You shouldn't be. But
wait, hold on. What do you? It's not her story to share. It's a fucking husband. What do you mean?
She is, you know, his wife, and him going through this addiction and coming out of recovery, it is also partially her trauma. So I think that she does, in some ways, have the right to share it, as much as I personally think it's a bad idea and wouldn't have done it myself. I understand both sides here, which I know.
This is a very cooked talking point. Oh, you know, one side is very fucked up, you know, that was against his will, with no proof at all. But at the same time, you know, I'm also gonna make an opposing argument that contradicts what I said.
It's like, for some people, a boring centrist take, but I do get it. I'm not here to be an unfair dick about the whole thing. And there are some things later on that are just straight up shit. So for now, let's give her the grace of, like, understanding why she would want to do this in good faith.
Part of the recovery process. January 2024, my husband relapsed on drugs. In April 2024, my husband relapsed on alcohol. I am not new to addiction or addicts, but what I am new to is marrying one. And putting on a brave face the entire year of 2024 was the hardest thing I have ever done in my life. There's a reason addiction is known as a family disease, because it doesn't just impact the individual, it impacts everyone around them. 2024, I faced some of the scariest nights of my life.
This is all just true. Like, this is good. This is a good video apart from the accent and the branding. But
I cannot care about the accent.
Good video. Like, this is all good information, but it is also something you should keep in mind, because she doesn't exactly act as though this is true information she's spouting here later on, but we'll get to that, don't worry. She sort of acts against these words, if that makes sense.
I'm talking calling the police, because I'm scared my husband's gonna die. To anyone who has had a spouse or a family member who struggles with addiction, you know what I mean when I say, I didn't know who that person was anymore. I felt like I had lost my husband. I figured I was gonna cry at some point in this.
No, see, like, if you're gonna tell me, like, you know, like, she fixed an accent, do you not believe, like, she would just drop it now when she's about to cry?
Addiction's really fucking hard, guys. Whether it's you facing it or...
I'm sorry, I think that's her actual real voice.
The people around you.
You know what? In some ways, I really do appreciate the commitment to this Boston bit, even when she's on the verge of ball.
You really... Okay, so you admit, you know, that she hasn't dropped it. Maybe it's a real voice at this point. No?
I watched his addiction worsen, and it became so hard in our home, and...
It's not a funny video, but it's just like it became so hard in our home, and she's still doing the fucking accent while she's... I don't think these are crocodile tears, because it is a traumatic story. Why are you doing the fucking accent, man? It's just, I can't fathom it. I don't understand.
I made the really difficult decision to remove Cody from our home. He ended up getting his own apartment, and I said, you need to figure it out.
I can't handle this video. You get the gist. It's a sad video, and it's a relatively good video, especially in comparison to all of her other fucking videos. But we'll move on now. This video is quite a tonal shift, but it is about the same sort of situation.
He completed his 45-day treatment program, and I am getting ready to go pick him up, and he's moving back into our home. Coincidentally, today is also Cody's 27th birthday. I'm gonna be transparent about how I'm feeling about this. I am extremely fucking excited.
Why would you need to be transparent to say that you're excited? I'm sure people would believe you if you said you're excited to see your husband you've not seen in 4 months. If you said, like, I'm gonna be transparent, I'm not that excited at all, really. I kind of liked it when he wasn't around. I understand the warning of transparency. It's like if I said, like, you know what, guys, I ate a cake, and to be transparent, it actually tasted, like, quite nice. The transparency doesn't make sense unless I'm about to say something that contradicts what you think I'm gonna say. This is such a nitpick. I'll let her carry on, sorry.
I've only been in my life
since December. Cody's my partner and my best friend. I love him with all my heart.
With all your hat. It's not like that's not that much love.
With all my heart.
If I love my partner with all my heart, they'd be very. I don't even fucking own a hat.
I'm sorry, for someone like me, once again, but, I mean, like, I'm sure this guy's also, you know, British, but someone like us, we would really not care.
So there's nothing to love her with.
Quick lunch before I go pick up Cody from rehab. I have some peppers, cucumbers with tzatziki and the everything bagel seasoning, boiled eggs, these yellowish orange tomatoes, strawberries, pineapple, and a cheese stick with fat.
Okay, you know, I have a new angle. You're fucking, instead of like, you know, going to pick up your husband, you're wasting time showing your fucking your breakfast platter. That's more funny, in my
Literally so
opinion.
nervous, anxious, happy, excited that I could throw up right now, but I really need to eat something.
That looks fucking unreal, to be fair. I'm not even going to criticize that. This is unreal. I will say that you can tell she's rich by the size of them fucking eggs. Every time I bring up eggs on this channel, you guys remind me like how expensive they are in America. Those 2 eggs probably cost a fucking mortgage for most years. This is her posting Cody's 2-month chip. Again, I guess if they spoke about this between themselves and agreed to do it, it's whatever, but like, this is private information that I don't think we all need to know, and once again, just places so much unnecessary pressure on him, and from most addicts that I know who have gone to rehab, sharing your, like, progress pictures this early on to the public is like bad juju. It's one thing if you're like 10 years into recovery and like, you know, it's like you can sort of tell people because there's very low risk of relapse.
You know, I really couldn't care less if they, you know, they post about their addict. I think it does more good, you know, than bad. Because some people be inspired by it. No,
it's a much lower risk of when, you know, 2 months.
My
As
fucking
much
voice
as
is going.
it's their business and not ours at all. I'm still allowed to disagree with the methodology here. But here's where shit gets really, like, bad in my opinion. Because as she said, and she was very correct in saying it, addiction is a family issue. If one person in the household is struggling with addiction,
I mean, it's once again, you know, it's their battle. You could say, like, you know, oh no, it's his choice, but at the same time, if he's also being affected by it, because she is, you know, his wife, then yes, you know, it's also her own trauma that she can either keep within her or, like, you know, publicize it, you know, and have it, like, teach people about it, you know, so they can get better
household
in their own
because,
journey.
however, if one person in the household is recovering from addiction, in that same vein, the whole household needs to recover similarly. So if one person is recovering from alcohol addiction, nobody in that household can drink alcohol. I know that might sound a bit alien or strange to people who haven't been around addicts in their life, or recovering addicts at least, but that is just how it fucking goes, or at least it's how it should go. Like, if you have a family member who you love dearly, who is recovering from alcohol, and they're really early into that recovery journey, you should do them the fucking courtesy of having no alcohol in the household and not drinking yourself, especially when you're around them. Yeah, it might suck if you like a drink every now and then, but you'll fucking do it if you love it. Mikayla.
Oh my god, dude. We're 2 minutes away, and the segment's called, I'm sorry, zoom in a second. Mistreatment of a recovering addict.
Disagrees with me, however, because since January.
So far, okay, maybe like in the last 2 minutes is a clip of like her being the shit of her husband.
2024, and by the way, let's remember, she said that Cody had relapsed. She has been drinking an insane amount in Las Vegas and in parties, these brand places. She drinks like a fucking sailor. A sailor. Like, if we look at all these instances here, it's insane. Like, there's so many. Yeah, and in my opinion, it's not acceptable to act this way when your husband is a recovering alcohol addict. Like, I just don't think that this is acceptable. And let's remember, these are only the times where she documented her drinking alcohol.
I'm
and you
sorry.
might think,
Wait. You use the example of like saying, like, you know, you probably should not keep alcohol in your house, you know, to not affect the recovering addict. But from what I'm seeing, right, go back a second. Fuck, hold on. Fucking, I'm so shit at this.
Recovering alcohol is here. It's in parties, these brand places. She drinks like a fucking sailor. A sailor. Like, if we look at all these instances.
It's ridiculous. You probably shouldn't keep alcohol in the house. Well, guess what? Look, I'm seeing fucking bars. I'm seeing pubs. I'm seeing, you know, clubs. There's no alcohol in the house. Maybe this top one, but like, you know, maybe he's like, oh, you know, I don't mind if you have alcohol in the house. That's it.
This is here. It's insane. Like,
this is a really dumb talking point. I mean, look, once again, maybe at a bar, maybe at a club, whatever, at a pub, or like a place like where he would not be at. Do you see the alcohol? And, you know, he's away from the house.
there's so.
Like, how would he be affected by this?
And in my opinion, it's not acceptable to act.
And like, don't tell me like, like he's seeing his wife, you know, drinking alcohol, like he would miss that. You can't see the taste of alcohol, can you, in pictures?
This way when your husband is a recovering alcohol addict. Like, I just don't think that this is acceptable. And let's remember, these are only
he's like really insulting himself. Oh, if I was a wife, you know, or if I was a wife of a recovering addict, I would not do this personally. Why do you care?
Times where she documented her drinking alcohol. And you might think, well, at least, like, you know, she's outside doing it, like, online, so maybe she's not doing it around him. But then when you look at videos with him that were posted recently, there's fucking wine bottles in the background. Like, this guy's a recovering alcohol addict. He relapsed. It was like a really bad addiction, according to Mikayla. They had to call the police because they were worried that he would die. And there's fucking wine bottles in the background. I know I usually don't like prying into other people's businesses. It's like a big thing on this channel, but this is just...
Like, it could be decoration, maybe. I don't know.
I don't like it at all.
I'm just sweeping for them because like this guy's like really microanalyzing every small point. Like, oh my god, you know, she's mistreating him by like, you know, like a couple of wine bottles in the kitchen.
I really don't.
That we know for a fact are real. And I mean, I can't even say for myself, you know, like that they are prosthetic and fake. but like he can't also prove that they are
Think
real.
I'm exaggerating or stepping out of line when I say that this should not be happening. I think that this is bad. If you truly love someone, then you quit drinking with them. Doesn't matter if he gives you permission to drink. You're like, you don't. You just don't. Mikayla is making it so difficult for this guy to actually, like, carry on with the consistency.
No, I'm sorry. Unless you have proof of him crying, and how difficult it is, you can't just say she's making it harder for him. That's a wild, slanderous point. Her mistreating her recovering addict of a husband. No, I'm sorry.
Because she's publicizing every step of the recovery process, which puts so much pressure on him. And then there's just alcohol left, right, and center of this bloke's life, despite him needing to see anything but alcohol at this point in his life. It's just a bit grim. Sorry if you think I'm stepping out of line or getting a bit too personal here.
I'm sorry. I think you are. I think this is way too much of a reach, into her own,
like
not just her own private life, but also criticizing and reviewing her, quality as a wife.
I disagree with. Anyway, I think that about does it for this video. I went over all the big controversies and Mikayla.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm done now. I've been recording for like an hour 10 minutes. Holy shit, dude. Oh my fucking ears as well. Overall, I'm sorry. I watched the entire video. I don't think the character of Mikayla is that bad. There was a couple of bad instances. No, I'm sorry. Well, let me think about it. No, the worst big thing, right? That was just more funny than anything else. Was like her using filters on fucking like babies, in the same picture to make herself look better. But that's really it. I'm gonna pull up the segments here. So number 1, lies about filters and Photoshop, lies about accent, lies illegally. Okay, well, this is about like look at work. That's about like the products, right? That's really it. Lies you hurt small businesses, lies about wedding, messy skincare brand, whatever, monetizing mental health. I'm surprised none of them seem like that severe to have her cancelled at all. Even worse, the accent point was really hammered in. But apart from that, I don't really care about the character of Mikayla on TikTok. She, honestly, 100%, does not seem that bad. I'm sorry.